Alrighty, here we go. Here we go. 1, 2, 3. We are going to do another video for the week of July 17th. That's right. Here we are. We're back again, the week of July 17th. I also want to give a heads up. There might be some changes in the recording uploads and publishing dates that you guys see videos from me. And if that doesn't change, then possibly the duration of the videos or the format, meaning not format as in like the content, not that kind of format. I mean like the recording format. I might have to do some videos off my phone. I'm not sure what's going to happen. We'll see. There's been a little switcheroo changey here in the household a little bit. And I don't have anything affirmative as to what's anyway. That's all I know right now. So, um, my yeah, I just don't know. So whatever happens, be like, oh, that's what G was talking about. You got it. Now, if you're new here, welcome aboard. My name is G. If you don't have your chart, comment to me below. I'll get it to you and help you in any way that I can. Anytime we talk about an astrological event or current events in the astrology, I'm going to show a chart, and it helps to see the chart while I'm talking about it. And it helps even more if your chart, right, the chart you got at your own house, or that, whether it's on your, whether you print it off and look at it like because you like the paper, or you're staring at it on your phone, it'll at least match the same kind of chart that I look at. You see, so it have the same symbols, because some softwares do different colors, and the glyphs, the symbols might be a little bit different. Anyhow, so for people that are new, looking at, I know when I first started looking at different charts, because of all the different charts uses different designs, and anyway, the layout is different. And it makes it more confusing because you have to kind of acclimate to that, yet you're still trying to learn about the astrology. So it makes it complicated. So the more things that are consistent and the same when you're just starting, the easier it is. Okay. So that's my recommendation, because people always have questions about the chart I use and what blah, blah, blah. Tropical Placidus house system. If you don't know what that means, for right now, don't worry about it. Just know that if you get a chart with me, it'll look like the charts I have here. And you always listen for the sign, the planet, the sign that it's in, and the degree, because I use a tropical Placidus, which means the degrees matter and the houses matter. So July 17th, 2023, we know today is a new moon. Tons of videos up already on the channel about this. It's a big beginning. Let me check the volume. Okay, good. So the alerts aren't going off. I'm going to put the chart up here, and quickly, we're going to kind of go through some of the finer points. A week ago, there was a video talking about how Mars, a week ago today, right, Monday, Mars had just went into the sign of Virgo. Mars is not a real fast mover. Mars is the planet of action. It's my body, can be military. Mars is born for war, right? But it's all about my appearance and me being, like freedom is a big thing. My independence, my ability to be independent, to act independently, the freedom of my body autonomy, the rights to my own body, the rights of my freedoms, like all these things are huge with Mars energy. But it's in Virgo, and Virgo is the health. It's also the daily projects, the tasks, but it can be work and jobs. And we got a lot of people who've been looking for work, looking for jobs, or switching up, and are like, damn, am I going to get hired? I went for an interview, or I've got, I've got a few irons in the fire. Which one is going to get hot first, and when, and what should I do? What if a hot, there's just like so many variables. But when Mars goes into Virgo, you could probably be like, yeah, something's going to happen, right? And we're also in this really beautiful spot where Mercury, which also happened a week ago, Mercury was 10 degrees in front of the sun, which means Mercury's power, your brain, your thinking, your ability to process information, to take it in, to absorb it, and then turn around and share is greater, right? So this is phenomenal news, actually, because it's left a lot of people, or we were all kind of in a fog. Even for me reading charts, it was difficult, right? Because it's like a part of my intellect wasn't functioning properly. This is just how it is for everybody because of Mercury. Wherever Mercury is up in the sky, it affects your birth Mercury. So let me throw up a chart real quick so you guys get an example of what I'm talking about. Okay, sweet. Let's take a peek at this. And here is my cursor, the number 8. And I kind of focused on Mercury, but we're going to also show Mars. And Last week's video, we showed Mercury at 29 degrees in the sign of Cancer, right? Well, now today, the new moon, Mercury is in Leo with Venus. And you see, Venus is about to begin her retrograde because she starts retrograding at this degree and the numbers are still in black. Whereas if the numbers were in red, that means that this is an object or a planet, a luminary, whatever it is, this thing's moving backwards. That's what the red numbers show you. So Venus is about to go retrograde. This means Venus is standing still, which means Venus, my money, my love, my income, my values, who I value, what I value. In Leo energy, okay, because this is also can be banking, but Leo is about the risks. Who takes the risks? What have we been risky with, right? How have we been using our values? How have we been risky in love? That's Leo energy. It also can be entertainers, entertainment, public figures, influencers, like this is all Leo energy, actors, actresses, performers, artists, even you doing art, definitely the sign of being very creative and being very artistic. Children, joy, fun, my happy place, Leo energy. Venus is going to go backwards, and look where she's going backwards to. She's going to go and sit right where Mercury is today on the 17th. So on this day, this tells us this is like a foreshadow moment because Venus is going to go back to here and be at this point. So this is Mercury. Mercury is also, other than your mind, it's sharing information, which is news, social media. So we're paying attention, or we're hearing about it, whether we want to hear about it or not, because our sister, brother, neighbor, classmate, housemate, coworker, Mercury, all of this shares the information with us, whether we want to know it or not. You know, when you're scrolling down and you're seeing shit and you're like, oh God, did I have to see that? I didn't want to read that. I don't want to hear about that today. Mercury, for sure. Its job is to share. It doesn't discriminate. It's like, yeah, sure, it's news. Let it go. Let it roll. And it's about all the Leo themes. Fun, children, joy, creativity, risk-taking. How do I have fun with my body? And feminine energy. This is a hot button topic. Female, feminine energy, Venus. Hot button topic. Having children. Yeah. Body autonomy, the right to my body, my rights, hello, right. Exactly. Got nothing against you guys, but whoever, if it's my body, it's my body. So, new moon, new beginning. Go check out those videos. That'll tell you more information about that, right? The moon, yep, the moon just passed over the sun because it's at 2549. But let's go back and look at Mars. Last week at 0, today at 429. See how slow it moved? 7 days and it only moved 4.5 degrees. Okay. Now, there's another big deal today, even though that's not a huge deal. But the big deal, the fire energy, is kind of a big deal. Let me light it up here with the red. Where are all these degrees in your chart is the thing. Remember, if you get a chart that I send you, your birth chart will have this same color, the same layout, the same everything. And so it's easier to follow, I think. Same color glyphs, same shapes, blah, blah, blah. Look at the North Node. You see that? The North Node. It is now at 2959. Bam! And that puts the South Node at 2959 in Libra. Libra energy is business and relationships. Business relationships. That's just what popped out first. Sorry, folks. It is also personal and private, so it's like marriage and partnerships. Libra energy. South Node is about a let go and a release. Something is ending. Something is going away. Something has, it's done. We've already done this. We've already been there. I'm not going to say it's played out, but it's run its course. It's run its usefulness. And sometimes certain relationships aren't meant to last forever. Sometimes it's more like a stepping stone, or it's just what works at that time, and people grow apart, and businesses also either grow apart or they don't adapt. Same with relationships. They just don't adapt. And so the shit just becomes too difficult to carry on. And so South Node is a release in relationships. This is the courtroom in terms of justice system and lawyers, the judicial system, like the scales of the balance. That's what this is, fair and equality, the balances, fair and equality. North Node up there is about our future because the South Node is something in the past. We're leaving it behind. So this is the future. And it's body autonomy, baby, the freedoms of our bodies. The North Node really focused on this. So people have asked about the election coming up in the United States. And wow, if this isn't going to be a thing, then I don't know what is. I mean, other than climate change. But body autonomy and climate change, if you run on those two things based on this North Node, yeah, I'm thinking you're absolutely going to get all the votes for sure. Now, fiery energy, Aries, independent action. It's independent and it's about me and me, like how I look and my appearance. But it's also really about the identity, how I identify. And I said it's really about it. It doesn't mean like either or. It's just saying it's my right to exist, who I am as I am, exactly as I am. I'm not broken. There's nothing wrong with me when you're looking at me. There's nothing wrong with me in the way that I identify. It's who I am. It's different than you. That's right. It's who I am. You see, Aries, all about me, all about I. There's no we in Aries energy. And that's where Aries energy can get tricky because it becomes so overly focused on self, which is not a bad thing as long as it does not infringe upon the rights or take away the rights or harm another. You follow? Now, let's not get into the debate, the difficult debate about pregnancies and body autonomy because, well, that fetus can't live without the mother. And that's just the reality. So you comprehend that for however you want to in your brain. Now, at this time, during the past week, we had something beautiful because we had the North Node was in Earth, right? So it was trining Mars. And some would even say that this is still a trine because it's still within like a 7 to 8 degree orb. So there might be some things we're hearing about. Virgo energy is the domestic side of life, but it can also be jobs, literally getting the job. And oh my gosh, look at this. And so possibly some new initiatives within the government. And I think there was a mention about that for jobs, right? And creating jobs even. And darn it, the CCC comes to mind when I see Mars, the Civilian Conservation Corps. Maybe it'll be called something else, right? But this sure screams, it supports that energy. How's that? It supports that energy because our planet needs it. We need it. And housing and homes, the sign of Cancer, is a big deal. So what else do we have to look forward to for this week? What else is happening? Well, let's take a look at Pluto. We haven't mentioned Pluto a lot lately. Pluto's been all in everybody's brains. It's all about change and transformation on a very deep level. Pluto is very thorough. This is big businesses and this is government. People who had extreme money, wealth, and power. Where Pluto comes, the bell tolls. Pluto is thorough. It gets down to the root. Jack Smith, do your duty. Do your job, man. But he's not the only one. There's a lot of difficulties for lots of those people of extreme wealth and power all over the world because Pluto is in Capricorn and Pluto is thorough. Pluto has the ability to not only toll, that bell tolls, but Pluto, some would say, could be the Grim Reaper where it comes through and it's like, you know what? I'm sorry, but your time is over. Your time is over. And Pluto has the ability to do that. So it would, in Capricorn, big businesses and government, people with money, especially anybody who abused their power because Pluto gives unbelievable power. That's the gift. Pluto says, here's this power. Imagine somebody handing you like this magic wand. Here's this great power that you have. What are you going to do with it? Right? What are you going to do with it? That's always the thing. How did you obtain it? And what did you do with it once you had it? That's the thing. How did you obtain it? And what did you do with it once you had it? That's the questions that Pluto asks. Divine energy is Pluto. So it can be difficult for anybody who's got anything in their chart at 29 degrees in the cardinal signs. And this brings up this next point, which is right? G, there's a big old T square here. There is. I haven't been talking about it too much, but we're going to talk about it a little bit here because a T square is stress and tension and difficulty. You see that? It's the cardinal signs. So it's the north and the south node with Pluto. You see that? I already talked about the south node. Something is going away. Some lawyers, there's something there. Pluto is checking them. We think of, well, I'm not going to name names. I don't need to name names. Y'all know, especially if you're in the political blah mess of the United States and its government and people who were, anyway, don't even want to get involved in this. It's a hot mess. But Pluto is squaring stress and tension, and it's the node. What's interesting, though, is it's the two nodes. So we got the north and the south nodes. So what's going on here? Is Pluto squaring the nodes, or are the north and the south node squaring Pluto? Right. It's all of the above. It's all of the above. It's a face-off. It's huge. These are extreme moments of power. Extreme moments of power. You got Pluto and the nodes involved. The south node says it's time to release and it's time to let go. Like, this party's over. This is a has-been. This was yesterday, south node. So it is a looking at the past for sure, and a big release coming along with that. And then it's a look at the future, north node, a big look at the future and the rights. And were there any abuses, Pluto, about the rights of the body, right? Possibly even military, because it's Aries and that's Mars energy, right? So something deep, because Pluto is all about the deep, something hidden, possibly even behind closed doors. It can be difficult. And we cannot forget about Mercury, where we began, the news. What will we be hearing about? Not that it matters so much, but in your own world, in your own life, what is ending and what is beginning? The beginning is your Aryan energy, and it's fire. And then Mercury in fire at 12 degrees. We go to the other fire at 12 degrees. We got white moon Lilith at 13. So Mercury is trining white moon Lilith and going to begin for the week of the 17th, trining Chiron. The wounds about my body, whether it's my appearance, any sort of wounds and abuses and hurts, deep emotions. This is my appearance based on ethnicity, the color of my skin, identity, gender, like all of that is in this. Mercury's going to trine Chiron. And I think that's beneficial because it's a trine. It's a trine, and it says there's some ease and a benefit. So typically trine establishes something good, and it brings something of ease to us in our lives. So we're going to draw a line from Mercury to the Chiron, and the white moon Lilith is there. Yeah. And it's white moon Lilith trining black moon Lilith. Do you see this? We got white moon up here at 13, and we got black moon Lilith right there at 19 degrees. So it's a little wobbly, meaning it's a little wide, but they're all in fire. And so I like that. That's really beneficial. And then the 25 degrees, Eris and Hercules working together here for the freedoms of our bodies, the body autonomy, the rights, our rights. But the big battle, the big thing here is this. It's Pluto and the north and the south node. That's the big battle. The north and the south node always move backwards. Pluto is in the retrograde. You see how it's red? So it's moving backwards. Now, they never actually square off where they meet up in minutes. And that's normally where we get like the big, oh my God, like the earth shattering stuff. Because that's within a few minutes is when Pluto is the most potent and the most obvious in our world. So let me move it up a little bit to give you a comparison. It's the following week. And so look forward to hearing about that. That will be Monday, July 24th. That will be the time. And to be in all honesty, that's when they'll be both exactly at 29:03. Let me move this line. You see how it's at 29:13 for Pluto? On the 24th, they'll be at 29:03. They all, meaning the north node, the south node, and Pluto will all be at 29:03. Now, normally with Pluto, it's a few minutes before. So we could hear something by this Friday of this week. It's possible. What could that be? I mean, if it's not Friday, it could be Saturday, it could be Sunday. It can be. We're during normal business hours, but I only say it like that because It's about somebody who was in power. Remember, Pluto was the past. It was the power that I gave, right? Businesses, corporations, abuses. There's a whole lot of things, different things, a lot of the stuff that's in the news, likely stuff that's not in the news, but Pluto is going to come and ring that bell. Okay. I will be back next week. And if I can't do it in this format, I'll be doing it on my phone, and we'll walk through it together. And sorry, but you might be just stuck with me and my face, me, myself, and I. Either way, you don't know and you want to know, comment below. I will see you in the next video. Bye-bye. Below the video, I'll have all the degrees for those of you who like to pay attention to the degrees in your chart. Again, if you don't know and you want to know, just comment below.